Happy Monday, everyone. The more that I do this work, the more I realize that the weekend is for resting, especially on Sundays. So the more that I do that, the more that I'm ready for Monday mornings, right? I'm ready to get back at it. I'm ready to create more. I'm ready to help more women and just create more goals, right? And stay committed to those goals. I had a coach that always used to say, before you get started, clear off your desk, get all the clutter away so that you can really get down to working. And I love that idea, that concept for starting anew and fresh on Monday mornings. It's a clear start. It's a fresh start. It's where we can create some space to create more goodness and reach some of those goals that we want to be reaching. So I entitled this Tiny Steps, Big Change. And, I think that's just the journey. Often we get into this, we have this vision, we have this dream, we have these goals that we really want to be doing and we want it to happen. And, I find myself caught up in that so often, even now after doing all this work over all these years, is that, can we just hurry up? Because often you just feel like you're just doing the work and doing the work and doing the work and not seeing the results, but the results are there. Sometimes we're just too close to see them, especially when we're building our businesses, right? So sometimes we can't see the goodness. So sometimes it's just good to take a step back and look at all that we've done and just see the journey, right? See the journey that we've been on. And often we get into this space where we just feel stuck, right? We get into overwhelm, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this and nobody's listening. I'm doing all of this work and no one's buying. I'm showing up in all of these events, and it's just, sometimes it just gets to be very repetitive. And often we feel overwhelmed and really just stuck, right? And kind of like not wanting to go forward. And I think when we have these small, tiny goals in mind, we can really see the change. And often when we get those big goals and big expectations is where we get into the overwhelm and get really into the stuck. Because nothing is impossible. We just have to chunk it down. When that's still too big and we're still in overwhelm, I can't do that, we need to chunk it down again. And from one thing that I've learned is just showing up, having that DMO in mind, knowing what we have to do every day, and just doing it in the right energy and with the right intentions, right? So when we're clear on what we have to do every day, it just makes it so much easier. If we know when we show up every day, we're going to get a result, and you will get results. We will get results. It just takes time. And sometimes we're not on our own timeline, right? We're with the energy of the universe. We're on God's time. And we just have to keep showing up and doing what we do best and doing what that dream is inside of us, that vision that we have, that goal that we have to reach. We just have to keep showing up. And sometimes it's not easy, right? But the more that we rush, the less we go forward, right? So when we show up consistently doing those little things, and gradually over time, we can add more to it. But especially at the beginning, keeping our commitments to ourselves is the most important thing to do. And that's really where we build that foundation to grow on. And then we know that we can say yes to more and we can do more because we have that confidence. That's the power of accountability, is building our confidence to do more, know that it's coming, and we just have to keep showing up. And one thing that I've also learned through mentors is that we're always closer than we think we are, right? We're in overwhelmed. We're not really clear on where we're going. We are still showing up and not really seeing the results, but the results are there. The results are so close, and we're always closer than we think we are. And we're always doing more than we think we are. And right, we know by our fears that those fears are going to be closer in our mind than we want them to be. So it's always that story. So recognizing that story in awareness is always so important also. So I encourage you to keep going. If you need to chunk back and do less, that's absolutely fine. Choose one task for every day. that you're going to do consistently this week, Monday to Friday. Show up every day and put your commitments in the group of what you've done, and that is half the battle. And I think when we show up, well, actually, I don't think, I know when we show up that way, it makes us feel good. It makes us keep wanting to do that. And yeah, you know, I said I was going to do that. I did it, and we celebrate that. So this is Monday. Here's to a fantastic week. Show up just doing one small task, and we always do more than that, but one thing that we're committed to in getting closer to our goal. Have a great day.